Welcome back to tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Bruce, and boy, I know it's been a while. I've been gone. I took a little break, I did like 8 episodes straight. I was worn out, man. I'm telling you, it's a lot of work to put on a show. But tonight we have a great show for you tonight. I'm going to be back for the next 8 weeks, maybe 7, maybe 6, maybe 5. Well, depends how I feel going forward. Anyways, but we got a great show for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, a great music performance by Natalie Joly right here on the show. And also a good buddy of mine, good friend. Let me tell you right now, this guy, he's the talk show host, the host of According to Shane. He's on the show tonight. Shane V, ladies and gentlemen. And also tonight, a great movie review. Hey, man, get the yield, my friend. Get the yield. Don't forget the yield. Scarface, ladies and gentlemen. Right here tonight, a great movie review. Man, I watched that movie at least 3 times this week, trying to get ready for it. And then once I, down-packed, I got the accent down-packed and everything like that. It was pretty cool. Like, for example, your people need people like me, so you can point your fucking fingers and say, oh, that's the bad guy. Or say hello to the bad guy. Or say goodbye to the bad guy. Because this is the last time you're going to see a bad guy like this. Okay, I kind of messed up. But you get the point. It's going to be pretty good. Enjoy the movie review coming up tonight. I want to, real quick, take a little shot. Want to give you guys a cheers. Hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday night. I sure am. I'm here. I'm happy. Everything's good. Can't complain. Cheers to you guys out there who continue to support me. To your health and happiness and everything in between, huh? Yeah? All right. Here we go. Oh, shit. That's gonna hit, Gene. Yeah. But, man, what's going on? Before I get to the, the Kyle rotten shit news, what is it? Rotten house or rotten, the guy that's on trial for the murder, the people that he killed, yeah. Anyways, before I get to that, which, by the way, they just announced the verdict, I want to get to a positive note, like stuff that's been going on in my life. But besides this job that I have here for you guys, I put on this show for you guys every Saturday night, I have a real job. I work at a hotel. And I see a lot of crazy shit. But besides the stuff that I see on a daily basis, I want to tell you what I hear from the guest's mouth. When they come to my hotel window to tell me, hey, there's a problem with my room. Well, I'm going to tell you some of those things real quick. Real quick. Hang in there. We got a great show for you guys. A lady came the other day. No joke. This is all true stories. I just said to myself, this is going to be fun for the show. And, I'm not going to name names. Well, she came by. She said, hey, I think there's a ghost in my room. And I was like, I'm not a believer in ghosts, but I'm going to listen to her. I think there's a ghost in my room. And I said, really? A ghost? She said, yeah, she's making noise right beside me on the bed. And I'm like, are you sure it's not a lady right in the next room? And she's like, no. She was right on the bed. Can you please come over and help me get rid of her? And I was like, what do you want me to do? Get some Lysol and come to the room? How do I know how to get rid of a ghost? I'm not a ghostbuster. What the? I told the lady straight up, get out of here. No, honestly, I went to the room. I actually recorded it, just to protect myself. This is actual footage of me going into that hotel room where the ghost is pretty much hanging out.
I'm gonna slap you silly.
Housekeeping. Oh, that was funny. I got another guest that came by a few days ago. He said, I locked myself out of the room. I need a new key. I said, no problem. Let me get your name. So I got his name. He said, it's Early Anthony Michael Martinez. I said, I just need the first name. He said, Early. So I told him, what are you doing out so late? Never mind. That's for the kids, okay? The kids that are watching, yeah. They'll get that joke. They'll be like, Daddy, did you hear that? Yeah, that's the kind of joke it's in other news, I got a friend that has been trying to get me to go to church. Those of you who know me, I'm not religious. You know, what am I going to do in a church, huh? Come on. So, but he's one of those guys that goes to those churches with those, what are they called? The ones that slap you in the head? Yeah, they slap you in the head. You're supposed to fall down. You know, you get back up and tell them, oh, I don't got no back pain anymore, whatever. You know, because I've been telling my friend, I've been having some pain in my back, this and that. I've been aching. And, he's like, come see this guy. He's an evangelist or evangelist. I can't say the name because it doesn't mean anything to me. Anyways, those evangelists, whatever they're called, I don't know. I'll have the name on the screen here. Anyways, long story short, I told him, listen, what's gonna happen? He's gonna slap me. I'm gonna fall to the ground. How's it gonna go? He's like, no. He's gonna help you, man. I'm like, yeah, let me help myself. Our friendship is over. See you later. Anyways, that's what's going on in my life. Just wanted to give you guys a little laugh. You guys seen those people that actually do vlogs? Like actually go out and say, oh, I want to show my followers this great view of the park or this statue, but their face is like right here, and they want to show you something. Like, for example, hey, can you guys see the Ass Man sign on my wall? Where is it? Hold on. Look, it's right there. Can you see it? Huh? Can you see it? No? How about that? Yeah, why don't you move your big head out of the way, huh? Because these people, they want to show you views, but their head is like right here to the fucking screen. Like, relax, move away. We can see everything if you move your head. I don't know. Long story short, it is what it is. Just wanted to share that with you. Move your head if you want to show people a view of something, alright? It is what it is. Britney Spears was recently freed. That's pretty cool. She got her whole thing thrown out. Now she can do whatever she wants. She's going to get her money. She's going to get married, have more kids, buy more animals, whatever she wants to do. She's going to do it. So I think that's cool. Finally, she's freed. It's like 2007 again. Before you know it, she's going to be walking around, breaking windows. It's going to be cool. And, yeah, but about that Kyle Rittenhouse, what is it, rotten shit? Kyle Rotten shit, yeah, the trial's going on. They just found him not guilty. How crazy is that, huh? Not guilty on all the charges. Insane shit, I'll tell you right now, insane shit. I mean, the guy clearly murdered these people. I agree with John Leguizamo. Where was the mother? Why wasn't she there to testify and this and that? I don't know. Long story short, that judge was a dummy. This has white privilege attached to it. You know what I mean? So long story short, if this was a black guy or a Spanish guy, it would have been a different story. Unfortunately, that's the situation we're in. That's the world we live in right now. And this guy's going to get off scot-free. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. But, maybe they'll take care of him on the streets, right? You never know. This guy should be behind bars. I don't care if he's 18, 19 years old. He killed 2 people, injured a third. It is what it is. He needs to go to jail. I'm happy to be back, Just want to say real quick, give a few shout-outs. I got some more shout-outs at the end of the program. But, ladies and gentlemen, right now I just want to say happy birthday to my good friend Elle. She's having a great birthday. It happened 2 days ago, but still, birthday weekend. So here's to you. Another shout out to Wendy. Hope you're doing good. Just want to give you a shout out. Also, my brother Brian, Liliana, who else? Justin, Joey, Alex, Scooby, you name it. A bunch of people. Just want to give shout outs to. Hope you guys are doing well out there. To health, happiness, and everything in between. Oh, I didn't faint on that one. In other news, did you hear about the Gorilla Glue girl? The Gorilla Glue girl, the one that put the Gorilla Glue in her hair? Yeah, well, she got a record deal. She released her first rap album. I can't put it up here because, believe it or not, it's copyrighted. Believe it or not, she made a song about Gorilla Glue. I know. It's crazy. So all I gotta do is put some Elmers up here. Got myself a record deal. Man, I can't wait. It's gonna be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Look forward to that video coming out any day now. But yeah, not that much to report today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just happy to be back. I'm gonna get right to the interview, right to the movie review, right to the music performance, because that's what you guys are here for. You're not here to see me blab about what happens at my other job. Nah. Then again, it is funny stuff. It is funny stuff. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with the movie review of the night, Scarface, and followed by that, a good interview with my good friend, Shane V. And right after that, another great music performance by Natalie Joly. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bar.
Don't be a cockroach, okay? Don't be a fucking cockroach. Scarface, 1983, ladies and gentlemen, starring Al Pacino as Tony Montana. And Stephen Bauer as Manny. And of course, Michelle Pfeiffer as Elvira. Let me tell you something. This movie definitely has it all from start to finish. It's basically about a Cuban immigrant, Al Pacino, who's actually Italian, playing a Cuban, only says about one sentence of Spanish throughout the whole film. But, you know, pretty much it's about him coming from Cuba to the United States, to Miami, to rise up the ranks, you know, to become the best of the drug trade. Now, well, you know, especially during the 80s. This movie came out in 1983, one of the best movies to come out of the 80s. Didn't make that much money at the box office, only made about $66 million on a $33 million budget. But it's a cult classic for so many other reasons, especially the violence and the gore and the story itself, the music. This movie pretty much gave hope for Vice City, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the video game. You know, it pretty much gave that game life, you know. So pretty much Al Pacino playing Tony Montana and his best friend Manny rise up the ranks, do what they got to do to take over the business. They kill off bosses here, you know, they kill off everybody. You know, they know they're getting scammed over, so they kill them too. There's a scene where he's about to get chopped up, you know, Al Pacino is about to get chopped by a chainsaw because a deal went wrong. And then one thing leads to another. The guy kills and chops up, puts him in bits and pieces and everything like that, right in front of Al Pacino, Tony Montana's eyes. He cuts him up, he cuts up his friend. Al Pacino knows what's going on. He's like, man, I'm going to kill you like it's no tomorrow. And that scene right there by itself was just amazing. There's actually alternate filming scenes, you know, from that section of the movie where you can actually see arms hanging from the shower curtain and stuff like that. It's insane, like the way they played it off and stuff like that throughout that whole scene. It was just perfectly put together. And then of course Al Pacino escapes with the help of Manny, and then one thing leads to another. They go outside, he shoots the guy that was chopping up his friend. But like I said, it was just an amazing scene. I think, you know, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm pretty sure you have, go see it again and watch that scene. It's just so well put together. Al Pacino does an amazing job. Stephen Bauer, amazing job. You know, he's the ladies' man. He's the one who's always trying to get the women and stuff like that. But, you know, one woman is off limits, and that's Al Pacino, Tony Montana's sister. One thing leads to Gina. One thing leads to another, and Manny gets a hold of Gina, you know, because one time in the club, things got out of control. A guy was trying to take her into the bathroom stall. Tony Montana saw what was happening and said, you know what, no, you're not going to treat my sister like that. At the end of the day, she's 20 years old. Al Pacino just came back into her life. Should he be overprotective of his sister? Hey, it is what it is. He's the older brother. But he hasn't been there for a majority of her life. He doesn't know how she's living her life now, and how if maybe she can protect herself by herself. You know what I mean? Anyways, long story short, she gets pissed because Al Pacino, Tony Montana again, he pretty much embarrasses her, tosses the guy out of the bathroom, lets her know, hey, nobody's going to touch my sister like this. And then, of course, Manny, played by Stephen Bauer, comforts her, lets her know everything's going to be good. One thing leads to another, and they have a little fling going on. Al Pacino gets wind of it, comes to the house, and my God, this scene right here is just an amazing scene when Al Pacino's looking. You can see the emotion in his eyes when he pulls that trigger and kills his best friend Manny. And right after that, the movie just pretty much, it's pretty much towards the end of the movie, but at the same time, Al Pacino's rising up the rank, killed Frank Lopez, killed all these people, the bosses and stuff like that. Already is the boss, but he got so much stuff on his mind that he's losing control. He's too the cocaine, you know, and all that stuff that he's taken throughout the film. You know, it's just he's lost, you know, so he starts losing touch of what's actually happening, and the other bosses can't have that, so they gotta put him down, and that's what leads to his demise at the end of the film. And a lot of people want to know, was he really snorting cocaine? There's a lot of theories out there that say he was. He claims he didn't. It was powdered sugar, powdered milk. One thing led to another, and now to this day he still has nasal problems, you know, nasal passage problems because of all the intake of the powdered milk that he was taking back then. But a lot of people said it was real cocaine, but maybe they're just saying that, you know, to get noticed or something. I don't know. Speaking of the cocaine situation back in the day, there was a lot of stuff going on in the backstage area, you know, but behind the scenes, where there was a lot of money laundering and stuff like that due to the cocaine and stuff like that during the production of the movie. And one of the ladies that was actually standing by the car with Manny while Al Pacino was upstairs about to get, you know, cut up with the chainsaw. Her name's Tommy Lynn Lappert, and one thing led to another. She disappeared in 1983, 5 months before the film was released, and nobody knows where she went. Nobody knows what happened to her. She's still considered disappeared. Well, she still disappeared till today. You know, nobody has known where she is, nothing like that. The mother kept looking before she died. The sister's still looking. But at the end of the day, everybody knows pretty much what happened because she was, you know, a little nosy when it came to the money laundering. And one thing led to another. Somebody got wind of it and took care of her. You know what I mean? Like, in a way, not to say it in a bad way, you know, but they had to get rid of her in a way because she knew too much. She knew too much that was going on back then, and they got rid of her. She was only about 18 years old at the time, 17 actually, and she was a model and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you know, they say she's disappeared and they never found her body. And if you know how those things work, they're never going to find her body. But unfortunately, it happened, and it's a sad situation. You know, she was a young model, but she just got too close to the bad guys. You know, she got too close to the real people that this movie's pretty much based on. But moving on, you know, the movie pretty much, that ending of the movie where Al Pacino is getting shot and the bullets are going through and stuff like that. The reason he's still getting shot and standing up is because of all that cocaine he's on. He doesn't feel the pain. You know, all he can do is just take it like an adrenaline shot, and like they're shooting him. But that one shot in the back by the bad guy, you know, pretty much, can't get his name right now. I'm so lost right now. But when he shoots him, boom, Al Pacino falls right into that pool of blood. It's insane. That whole scene right there is amazing. Believe it or not, the only real Cuban on the film was Stephen Bauer. But he talks English. He talks just like us, yeah, anybody. You know, but he was the only real-life Cuban, and he did a really great job at playing a Cuban and with the accent and stuff like that. But man, this movie has it all. Definitely has it all. Believe it or not, like I said about the rating, it had an MP from MPAA, which is the company that decides what gets an X rating or an R rating or PG. Well, one thing led to another, and the director, Brian De Palma, he said, hey, I want to do our rating, but the guys at the MPAA said, no, we can't do that, so you need to cut out some scenes. So they started cutting out some scenes. That was the first take. Brian De Palma said, can we do it now? Nope. The MPAA people said no. So he started taking out more scenes, Brian De Palma. One thing led to another. They said, you know what, it's starting to look a little better. Let's get a panel of judges in here to decide. The judges decided the movie's good to go. It's actually based on real life stuff that actually happens in the Cuban underworld drug trade. Now, one thing led to another, and Brian De Palma told him, well, the scenes that I took out weren't that bad, so can I just put them back in and I'll still get the R rating instead of the X rating? They said no. They weren't having it. Long story short, Brian De Palma still put the first take in. He kept all the scenes in when he submitted it to the theaters. And when it got released in theaters, all the original scenes were still there. Of course, he probably got chewed out by MPAA later, but you know, it is what it is. He went along and he took the chance. And that's why a lot of people were negative towards the film, because of the, you know, the way it was, you know, portrayed and stuff like that, the way they portrayed the Cubans and everyone else. And yeah, not every Cuban's bad, not every American's bad, but at the same time, there is bad ones. There is a lot of bad ones. Americans, Cubans, you name it. But at the, you know, when you watch this film, you can see the masterpiece that is behind it. You know what I mean? And you talk about the Brian De Palma, the guy that directed this film, an amazing job, by the way. But what about Oliver Stone? You know, the writer of this film, who wrote this script. And believe it or not, Oliver Stone had his own cocaine issue at the time. Decided, you know what, I need to step away from the cocaine and actually focus on the film. So he stepped away, went with his wife, left the country, started writing, you know, finishing the script. One thing led to another. He finished the script, submitted it, and it was just an amazing story. And that's just a little behind the scenes stuff right there for anybody that's interested in knowing that. The film's based in Miami, but it's actually filmed in Los Angeles, California. A lot of the scenes that you see there are actually in Los Angeles, but there's similar territories and stuff like that. A lot of people didn't know about that. Did about 82% of Rotten Tomatoes, not bad. Really well received score. I'm telling you right now, despite what people say about the money, it didn't make that much money. It's a cult classic, and years later, the rating just speaks for itself. You know, so it's a 2-hour and 50-minute movie. Is what it is, you know. And then throughout the whole film, only 42 people were killed. That's a total kill count throughout the whole film. So I think that's pretty cool. And like I said earlier, it kind of inspired the game Vice City, Grand Theft Auto Vice City in 2002. You know, it definitely inspired the first Vice City and stuff like that. But man, Vice City, I mean the first Grand Theft Auto game, but the first Vice City game in 2002, Ray Liotta, you know, from Goodfellas actually played Tommy Vercetti in the video game. A lot of people probably didn't know about that, but it is what it is. I thought it was pretty cool. This is actually Al Pacino's favorite film, you know, throughout his whole career, one of his favorite films to do. Believe it or not, one of the scenes at the end of the movie where he's actually working on one of the guns and he pulls the trigger, you know, even though there was blanks used, he actually badly burned his hand and his finger, which led to him being sent to the hospital as an emergency. And the filming was put on hold, but then they ended up continuing filming eventually, just around Al Pacino. You know, they did other scenes that were needed to be done. But like I said, this film has it all, man. I'm telling you right now, you definitely got to go see this film. And if you haven't seen it, go see it, because it's just great. If you have seen it, watch it again. I mean, come on, Al Pacino, are you kidding me? One of the greatest guys out there. One of the greatest actors out there, you know? And this movie just has a lot of violence, a lot of gore, but the story's pretty well, especially how it starts off. You know, it's just it's an amazing art in a way. In a way, it is. You know, you got great directors, great writers, great actors. Everybody's pretty great in this film. So yeah, go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. And coming up next, a great interview with me and my good friend Shane V. So don't go anywhere. Also tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Joly is coming up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And believe it or not, we got a great guest for you tonight. We're back in full force with talk show host, ladies and gentlemen, from According to Shane on YouTube, and you can check him out on all social media. Ladies and gentlemen, Shane V.
Hey everyone, it's a pleasure to be here, Bruce. I'm so happy to finally get to speak to you, man. We've been good friends for a couple years now, but we've never spoken to each other. We've only written to each other. So let's have some fun tonight.
Yeah, man. It was only those private messages and shit. like
Yeah.
old school love letters. Like, what's up, buddy?
Pen pals.
Oh, there you go. Pen pals. Oh, shit. I'm just cutting my cigar real quick. You know, always got to light up.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
I might lose my eyebrows. It happens. It happens from time to time.
Part of the process.
Yeah, exactly. How you doing? How you been?
Good, man. Good. Everything is good. You know, sometimes stressful, but overall happy to be where I'm at.
Man, it's been a minute. I brought up you inviting you onto the show about a few months ago. You know, he's like,
Mhm.
I got to get this guy on. You know, first off, you're in the chair this time. You know what I mean? Like you're usually the one
Yeah.
doing the interviews.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I've been interviewed like a few times in my life, but usually I'm always in the other chair.
Uh-huh.
That's looking good.
Oh yeah. You smoke cigars?
Yeah, here and there, here and there.
Nice. Yeah, man. Man, I've been smoking for a long time. I don't smoke like that, like every day, like once in a while, usually for the show, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's okay if you do it in moderation. No, it's better than smoking anything else because you don't take it to your lungs
Yeah, you know it.
unless you do.
No, 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 no. I try not to, but then again, you might see me choking and coughing my ass out right now.
Exactly.
Luckily, I didn't
Wrong.
burn my eyebrows off, so I'm good to go right now. Oh, man. So, yeah, man, I mean, like I said, you started this show, according to Shane, what was it, last year? 2020 or 2019?
2019 actually. I've had some slow ups, but yeah, it's been close to a year and a half, 2 years,
Hmm, man.
and you know, we're taking a new direction with everything. It used to be just interviews, but I don't know if you saw my latest project. I think you did the documentary with Michael Francis. That's what we're more slowly leaning towards, making things more cinematic, making things an actual production, and building cinematic footage around certain people's lives with interesting stories. And I think Michael Francis was a great example of that.
That was an amazing documentary. And it was
Thank you,
called A
man.
Mob Story, right? Or a mob movie. What was it?
It was called a mob movie.
There you go.
Michael Francis reveals all in true crime documentary. I think that's what it was called.
He's such a cool guy, man. I mean, I watched the whole thing, so down to earth, humble. Like he's just, you could just tell he was just a great guy to talk
Exactly.
to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have nothing but great things to say about Michael Francis. We actually, when we did that, we just sat down for like 45 minutes. It was more work. I was really, really stressed out. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And
Yeah.
then, he was out. He came down from somewhere that's a bit further from our studio. So it was just strictly business. We didn't really get to know each other. But recently, a couple weeks ago, I actually sat down with them. I had lunch with them, and I just, he just showed truly how good of a guy he is, not just in front of the camera, but in real life too. And I'm really grateful for the relationship that I have with them.
Oh, that's badass, man. Yeah, like you were just so like hands on with him too. It was great. Every time you see an interview that you do, the development that you go through in every interview that you do is pretty impressive. Like, I mean, I'm freaking inspired, man. And in fact, the reason I
Truly.
started interviewing guests is because of you. That's the honest truth. I'm saying it right here on the show. You did it before me,
I
and I
mean,
was like, man, I gotta get in this. I gotta get in this one.
that's hard to believe, to be honest with you. I don't really see myself as an inspiration or anything like that, to be honest with you. But to like hear it, it feels very, very humbling.
Yeah. Tell the people how old are you, man? Come on.
I'm 19,
And you started this when you were what?
almost 17.
Yeah, that's insane.
So I did
That's
my first actual interviews at 16.
That's insane. Like, come
And
on, man.
The thing is, though, one thing I am a little bit disappointed in myself is the pace I did it at. I've done probably like 25, 20 interviews. I'm not exactly sure. Not all of them have even been posted or shared. But the pace we did it at was a lot slower than I would like to, and that's just because booking is such a hassle. That's what we're working on now, is establishing a schedule where we have one coming up out almost every week.
Nice.
And that's what I've been working on day and night. That's the hardest part, is the behind the scenes work. So that's what our main aspiration is. We're also doing a bit of rebranding, and yeah, I guess that's what I want people to know is we're speeding things up.
That's pretty badass, man. I remember. I want to go back a little bit. Before, how I met you was through a good friend of mine, my cousin, Steve Marino. You know who he is?
Of course, I know Steve.
Come on.
Of course, yeah, I think that is how we met. Yeah, he set up the Big Time Tommy interview for me, and we met in New York. We met in Manhattan. Yeah, we had a great time with Steve.
Man,
I'm still friends with Steve.
let's give a shout out to Steve and his
Yeah,
mother,
shout out to
Mama
Steve. Cheers to
Lucy.
Steve, man. Cheers to Steve.
Yeah, yeah. And
Well,
Mama
Mama
Lucy.
Lucy, cheers to them. Yeah, cheers. Steve
Ah,
also worked with Sal the Voice, my dear friend, Sal Valentinetti from AGT. Honestly, one of the best people out there. One of
yeah.
the kindest, down to earth, funny, charismatic, talented guys you'll meet, man. And Sal, I'm saying this now, Sal is the closest thing after Frank Sinatra.
He's got the voice.
I love Michael Bublé too. I love Michael Bublé. But Sal, man, just when you hang out with Sal, the energy you feel, he has that larger than life personality.
Yeah, because Michael Bublé, that was the next phase, and then now you got Sal taking over and doing his phase of the game. So it's pretty cool, and he's got the voice. You can hear that Frank feeling and stuff like that.
You're,
Who's better than Frank? I mean, but to actually
Nobody.
master that is insane. You know what I mean?
Of
Yeah.
course. And he said that himself. There will never be another Frank Sinatra. And Frank Sinatra is my biggest idol. I love Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Frank's my religion, honestly. Frank's my God in some ways. But
Yeah.
Sal has the most impressing part is that he's came close with his talent, with his voice, with his entertainment.
And you were bringing up before Big Time Tommy Ramola. I mean, that was I remember seeing the first interview. That was just hilarious, and you guys just hit it off. It was so cool. I remember I followed Tommy for a long time. Him and Vinny Dice. You know Vinny Dice? DJ.
Oh yeah, I remember when Tommy was blowing up in 2019. I think Vinny Dice was a part of that whole thing. They were on the Duzis and Miro or Mario. I don't know, Miro. Duzis and Miro, I think. They were on their show. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's a cool guy right there. Cool guy. And the fact that you know these guys.
Had a great time with Tommy. Again, good friend. Tommy's also a great friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's throughout this journey, I've made a lot of cool friends, and there are just stories and memories that were made that I'll never be able to forget. And I'm looking forward to the ones we're gonna be making in the future.
Man, there's only up from here, man. I'm telling you right now. The way you started, the way the business is transitioning into this, now it's social media and this and that. But before you know it, you got the connection here, the connection here. You're gonna probably end up, I don't know if you're interested in movies, acting, doing your own show on TV one day. It's gonna happen, man. You just keep moving forward.
Hopefully, brother. I really appreciate those words. And yeah, one of my main aspirations is to be an entertainer and to make, according to Shane, into a media company. So you'll see some rebranding soon. That's what we're working on.
Yo, I just want to be invited to the VIP party, man. That's
always being Bruce. Honestly, I'm gonna say this too. A great talk show host himself, a great person himself, and honestly, a great friend and a great supporter of mine from the beginning. I'll never forget, Bruce, no matter what happens. And we're in it together, Bruce.
I appreciate that, man. Salute. I want to go back. I want to go. Nah, same here, man. Same here. I don't know where I'm going, but if I get up there too, we're gonna be hanging out.
Got it, man. We're in it together.
So let me go your background real quick. Everybody gets you confused for an Italian. Everybody, I'm Italian, but I mean, at first I thought you were Italian, then you clarified that and said you were Armenian. Armenian are cool people, man. I tell you right now, really cool people. Just look at yourself, for example. But like, how does that feel? Like sometimes you're like, hey, this guy, Italian.
Oh yeah, man. It happens. It happens more than it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'll say it like that. Everyone thinks I'm Italian. I mean, way more people think I'm Italian than I'm Armenian. So it's cool. I mean, I have to correct them, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie about my race. Yeah, I am Armenian. I'm 100% Armenian. I'm nowhere near being anything Italian, but I'd love to be Italian. Don't get me wrong.
No,
but yeah, man.
It's the way you present yourself, And Armenians are known to present themselves very well, and Italians as well. So I guess they get it. The connection's there,
They're similar people, honestly. I'll be honest with you. I've been to both countries. I've had many friends from both races, and they are very similar people in many ways.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, man.
That's for sure. And yeah, man, Italian people, just some of the greatest people out there. Honestly, they make the best clothes. They have the best food. They have the greatest artists. You name it, man. And the list goes on. So it's not something I'm ashamed of being mistaken as. I'm actually proud of being mistaken as one. And Italian people gave me a chance in this business. If you look at it, almost all my guests have been Italian. So they've really given me a chance, and I'll never forget them for that.
Man, you had some memorable episodes, especially Gianni Russo. That was cool.
Oh my God. Gianni Russo. Have you ever met a guy like Gianni Russo? I haven't. I don't think I ever will. I mean, his story is just insane. How he put himself in the greatest movie of all time. An affair with Marilyn Monroe. You name it, man. A real player. And the way he treated me, I'll never forget. The way he invited me to his home. The way he calls me family. He calls me his nephew. I'll never forget it. We talk almost every Sunday. Honestly, out of all the guests I've worked with, the closest I'm with at the moment is Gianni Russo, the one I've spent the most time. Well, me and Salah have hung out a lot here in LA, but the guest we keep in touch with, the guest I keep in touch with the most, Gianni Russo. I'll appreciate everything that man has done for me and the amount he looks out for me. I'll never forget it.
So such a cool, another down-to-earth guy, straightforward. I'm telling you right now, that was a great interview. I definitely recommend people checking that out. If they haven't, or if they have, watch it again. That guy's, he feels like an uncle, man. I just listening to the guy. It's so cool, right?
It does. It's like he's part of your family. Before I even met him, he was a part of my family. So it's
exactly. Now, I'm going to bring this up because I'm a huge fan of The Sopranos. If you've seen my stuff, you know I am. But let me say this. How was it meeting the fabulous, the great, the beautiful Dre De Matteo? I mean, come on.
Shit, man. That was fun.
That smile says no.
I honestly wish I handled that a bit better, but like I was in that very formal looking suit, because it was a mob themed event. I was like, I want to wear this very formal vintage mob looking suit.
Yeah.
And it's just me sitting there with that suit all uptight, and it's Dre De Matteo going all crazy. it was just, again, one of those experiences where it happens, and then it's like after it happens, you're like, wait, did this actually happen? Was Dre the Mateo actually tickling me? Like, shit, man. If this is how life is gonna be, like,
Yeah.
I could get used to it, and I like it. But again, she's so cool. She's such a great person. I wish I was tensed up. You know, I didn't like how tensed up I was there. But it was just, I was 17 years old, and it was just like so unreal of like the conversations we were having and how things were going. And then I don't know. I wish I could have been a little bit cooler, handle the situation a bit cooler.
Okay, first off, you were 17. Okay. You did something. I'm 34 by now. You did something that probably half of the population wish they could have done, and that's just speak to her. Okay, so
Yeah,
bravo to
man.
you, my friend.
Yeah, man. Shit, like sometimes like when because I always rewatch The Sopranos here and there,
Yeah.
and like I'm like, wow, she's such a great actress. She's so good looking. Adriana's such a great character, and it's like, oh shit, wait, I've actually met her. It's like you don't think of it like that.
Yeah.
With a lot of the people that you watch, you're like, oh shit, we've shared conversations, we've had some fun together, and it's a cool feeling.
I know the feeling, trust me, because like I mentioned
The
earlier, I
people
had
you
a
work with.
actor Alex Scooby on the show, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
talked with him. We connected. We had a good time. And then I'm watching King of Queens, and I'm like, I had that guy.
No,
On
I was just talking to him. Yeah, it's a funny feeling, man. It's a really cool feeling, and
Yeah,
yeah, you know what it's like.
of course. You know, um, like I said, I was saying before. You know, like I said, you've been doing a lot of stuff. The big thing I want to know is that what do you have planned for the future? What is your ambitions? You know your goals in the business going forward.
Oh, thank you for asking, man. It's right now, it's what we're working on, man. Just pages of shit that we're trying to bring to life here. Um, one of the things I mentioned earlier, make everything a lot more steadier. It's for it to become a weekly thing. Um, I'm an entertainer, entrepreneur. Those are my two main aspirations. And my biggest goal I have right now is bringing, I don't know if the name is always going to be the same, but let's call it According to Shane for now. Turning that into an actual media company and working with networks and just growing from there, doing a bit of rebranding, continue with the documentaries. Later on, eventually transform that into films, actual films, not documentaries. Continue doing the interviews, all sorts of interviews, not just movie interviews, whether that's political, whether that's entertainment related, whether that's sports related. Just build an actual company, and make it very steady and make it, you know, something that people want to tune into every week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way you started off, amazing. Especially if you keep having that ambition, that goal of, you know what, this is what I want to do. At a young age of 19, you know, a lot of people are different, but you got your head on right. And I feel like if you keep going this direction, the right direction, meeting the right people, and you know how you keep yourself so well neat and all that stuff, man. I'm just saying, the sky's the limit. You can't go wrong. You're gonna get what you want, man.
I truly appreciate it, man. It truly, sometimes it is hard to see just because of how crazy the ambitions we're talking about are.
Yeah.
But, I've made myself one promise. You just don't quit until it happens.
Yeah.
You just can't quit. I mean, either you're dead, that's either you die, God forbid, or you just that's the only way of quitting. That's my only way of quitting. I'm not gonna quit until it's accomplished.
Yeah. And you started early, so that's even better, man. That's even better. A lot of people start late, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for someone like me, I'll probably get my first movie role at 62.
I feel like 72. No, I'm just joking, man.
Nah, yo.
I think, Bruce, you have a big break coming your way soon. You're a really talented guy.
Yeah,
You know,
appreciate
you've got the character. I feel the energy speaking with you.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a great voice. You've got a great accent. It's Bruce. Like I mentioned this a bit earlier. You've got a great name, Bruce Martin. That's such a cool name, man.
Yeah.
BM. You know,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Appreciate that.
You're gonna get something really big soon, man. And again, I'm sure you have the same mentality. You do it. You work on it until it gets done. There is no quitting.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Salute. I appreciate that.
All the best, man. Cheers. And
before we wrap this up, I just want to say, add this to the show. What brought you into the business? What was the motivation behind it?
Well, yeah, I thank you for reminding me that. I have been obsessed with movies. Movies have been my life since I was 13 years old.
Mhm.
And watching all those movies made me realize I really need to do something in that world. It's the only thing that can make me happy. No amount of money, nothing else, honestly, could really make me happy. I come from a family with a background in law, and that's all they want for me, to go into law. I mean, it's a great career, don't get me wrong. There's a lot more money in it, potentially, but I don't see myself happy doing anything else other than the entertainment industry at the moment. That's my main thing. And I started off with interviews, and I have to say thank you to the people who gave me a chance, who saw that desire in me. Infinity Media Production, who's helped me with everything. Anthony DeColodro, who helped me with the Michael Francis documentary, and that's ultimately going to lead to other things, and it already is. We're potentially in pre-production for 3 other projects. And also, again, I have to thank my family for supporting me. And my friends, I have a lot of friends that I work with. This team consists of my very close friends who help me do this. Those people know who they are. And, you could see them all over my social media. So yeah, that's my answer to that.
That's badass, man. That's pretty amazing. I mean, can't ask for a better guest. I mean, like, you pretty much have everything on right. You're heading in the right direction. You started off young. You started off strong. You're still going strong. Like I said, I'm just happy to have you as a guest, but also I'm proud to call you my friend.
Likewise, bro. You're one of my great friends.
I appreciate
great supporters, man.
Yeah, man, from the start, man, for sure. No doubt about it. But yeah, man, I do appreciate you coming on, taking this time. I know you're busy. I know you got stuff to do, but I'm definitely going to end it right here. But with the little bit that I have left, I just want to say to you, cheers to healthy future.
All the best.
And all the best, man, for you and your family and your friends.
Likewise, bro. All the things you wish for me, I wish them right back to you.
Appreciate that.
It was fun. Let's do it again, bro.
Definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Shane V. You could catch him on According to Shane on YouTube. He's got a lot of stuff coming out, so go check him out. Go check out his Instagram at Real Shane. Also Facebook at Shane V. That's VEE. Am I right? Did I get it?
I think so. I don't even remember what my Facebook is. I don't use it too much.
I'll have the links below, ladies and gentlemen. Just check it out. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Oh, well, I'll see you next time, but we'll be right back with a great music performance coming up next. Sorry, I'm a little wasted. I had a little too much of this. We'll be right back.
Saturday night, man.
There you go. Saturday night. We'll be right back.
I keep reaching deeper than I have ever been. Where the moon has its own sweet home for me. I'm
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next. next, a great music performance by the one and only, very talented, the wonderful, ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Joly. Take it away.
There was a time when I was so broken hearted, that wasn't much of a friend of mine. The tables have turned, yeah, 'cause in them ways I parted. That kind of love was the killing kind. Listen, all I want is someone I can't resist. I know all I need to know by the way that I got kissed. I was crying when I met you. Now I'm trying to forget you. Your love is sweet misery. I was crying just to get you. Now I'm dying 'cause I let you do what you do down on me. Now I'm not even breathing right between pleasure and pain. Yeah, you cry when we're making love. Must be what they say. It's down on me. Yeah, I've got to tell you one thing. It's been on my mind. All I gotta say.
What a performance. What a music performance, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Natalie, for being on the show. Definitely want to have you back again down the road. That was a great performance. If anybody wants to get any information about Natalie Joly, her information will be below. Check out the links there. All her social media will be there. But man, wow, what a performance. And this goes out to you, Natalie Joly. Thank you for being a part of the show. I do appreciate it. Cheers. Oh. That's going to be it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bar. I do appreciate it. You know, I do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week for a new show. And once again, thanks to my guest, Shane V. You are the man. I appreciate you, my friend. And yeah, man, please share this video. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week. So take it easy. All right.